Hi, my name is Alan from 𝗘𝗲𝗵𝗶𝗃. Welcome back to my YouTube channel. In today's video, I'm going to talk about something close to my heart. Do you know I have a love not only for property, but also for architecture. Wherever I go, if I happen to see beautiful or unique buildings around Singapore, I will take out my smartphone and take some photos of them. I also have a love for old iconic buildings that form a big part of our built heritage. I enjoy admiring them just like an art piece. Today, I'll be discussing 3 issues affecting our built environment. Without further ado, let's head over to them right now. Firstly, I will talk about the design of our built environment. If you happen to visit any show flat or visit any newly completed TOB condos, have you noticed that most of them look identical? A typical condo will look like a tower block with a glass facade wrapped around the exterior. Then you have the usual balconies that protrude outwards from the living and bedrooms. Most condos will have 6 to even 8 or sometimes even a dozen units all clamped in a single tower block. When you design homes along a long dark corridor, there is no difference from rental flats in my opinion. The corridor is narrow and you can't even leave your slippers outside. That is unlike how condos in the olden era are designed, where there is even a small common area for you to put your shoe racks and interact with your neighbors. Another issue I want to share is the layout. For the longest time ever, the condo layout has not changed very much in the past 10 to 15 years. A typical 1-bedroom will have an open concept kitchen with both the living and bedrooms facing the front. For 2 bedrooms, you will have the typical dumbbell layout where the bedrooms are side by side to the living room. Then, we will have the 3 and 4 bedrooms. Bedroom size are small in my opinion. If we benchmark them against HDB BTO flats, bedrooms in HDB flats are easily 30% bigger. I mean, if you can afford to stay in a condo, space should be a given and not something that we need to trade off with. Another design flaw I see in today's condo is the balcony. Frankly speaking, they should be called the laundry area instead. Why? I'm not kidding you. Just take a look at the practical use of the balcony space today. Most owners are using the balcony to air dry their clothing. Some even have to install dryer because they don't have a service yard. I mean, we are talking about sustainable living, yet we are blindly designing homes without a decent drying area. I mean, if even HDB 2-room BTO flats has a service yard, I don't see why condos cannot follow suit. Some of these design flaws are common sense and can be fixed with creative design. For example, regarding the lack of a drying area, this condo, which I'm currently marketing, has a take-go or laundry post installed along the common corridor. This allowed the owners to dry their clothing outside their home just like any HDB owners. The architect has also cleverly hidden the laundry area from the outside, so you can't really see it from afar. Do you know what is the best part? This is common property and you don't even need to pay for this airspace. Anyway, this is a freehold condo next to NEX and Serangoon MRT station. It's built by UOL. This is a good property in my opinion. This 3-bedroom apartment is asking for 1.86 million. If you are keen, you can PM me for more information. Enough of this design flaw. Let us go to the next pain point. The second issue I want to raise is on renowned architects in Singapore. If you ask the older generation who are the renowned architects in Singapore, they will tell you it's Tan Cheng Siong who designed the iconic Pearl Bank apartment. Pearl Bank apartment was the highest density and tallest residential structure in Singapore at 38 stories when it was completed in 1976. While others will say is Tay Keng Soon and partners from Design Partnership, now known as DP Architects, who designed Golden Mile Complex. Built in 1973, the 16-story complex is one of the earliest pioneer of an integrated development that comprised shops, office and homes all under one roof. Then there is Timothy Xiao, who designed iconic condos such as the Futura to the Landmark Tower, Horizon Tower and other prime condos in Singapore. However, if you ask the man on the street today, most will tell you this: Oh, the architect that designed Marina Bay Sands Law, or the 𝗲𝗲𝗏 that designed the Sky Habitat in Bishan. This person is Moses Sadif, who is an Israel-Canadian architect. And if you happen to pass by Farrer Road, I'm very sure you cannot miss the Leiden. This condo was designed by Iraq and British architect Zaha Hadid. However, if you ask the younger generation today, who are the famous architects in Singapore? I'm very sure they will tell you this. They don't know. 我不知道. If you ask the older folks, I think they can still tell you because they can still associate well with the pioneer architects during their era. For those who are in the property industry, maybe they can still quote you a few architecture firms such as DP Architects, ISP to ADDP. Here, do you know what is the common question most home buyers ask when they step into a show flat? They will usually ask, who is the property developer? Very seldom will you hear buyers asking, who is the architect? It seems that homeowners today cannot resonate well with the architects that design them. Are architects building functional homes for the people? Or has our architecture star taken a back seat? These are tough questions that the architecture community need to ask themselves. The last issue I would like to raise is the conservation of old condominiums. If you happen to look around, many iconic condominiums in Singapore have strong architecture and historical significance. They are built mainly in the 1970s to 80s to even 90s. These condos adopt a different way of design. They are mainly spacious and functional, and most importantly, offer practical living space to the occupants. They may look old, but they are still highly sought after in today's market. I have spoken about them in my earlier videos. The data has proven that their prices hold very well, even though they are old. However, these condos will not be there forever. They are the prime target for en bloc, since they are old and the land they sit on is more valuable than before. I have consulted industrial professionals. They share that property developers have no incentive to preserve such buildings, as they prefer a clean sheet of paper to build more units, especially smaller units, to generate higher profit instead. It will be a waste that such buildings that are designed by our very own pioneer architects are demolished one after another. We failed to save Pearl Bank apartment. Fortunately, we have saved 𝗘𝘅𝗵𝗶𝗯𝗶 complex. But what is next? Are we on time to save the next one before they are gone forever? I know that in land scarce Singapore, it's not practical to conserve everything. However, I think preserving a part of our built heritage is an important step for Singaporeans to reconnect with our past. Maybe there could be an incentive to preserve part of an old building like what they did to 𝗘𝘅𝗵𝗶𝗯𝗶 complex. I have previously made a video on the 10 design flaws in today's new launch condominium. That video has more than 7,000 views. Unfortunately, nothing has changed. The only way to make changes is always to adopt a bottom-up approach. For students in the Department of Architecture at NUS who are watching this video, I humbly suggest you to initiate a survey to reach out to the community. Ask homeowners about their views and pain points, especially if they are living in a newer private property. They should compile such data, consolidate their findings, and reach out to the authorities. It's only with feedbacks from the ground that the authority will take action to make changes to our policies. Here, I hope that there will be changes so that architects will have more liberty to design homes and express their creativity. This is unlike today, where the focus is to maximize GFA efficiency. This is one of the reasons why condo today adopt a cookie cutter template. This also has further implication to the real estate industry as a whole. When private homes are designed in such a way, the quality of life will be affected. On the other hand, if HDB can build functional and practical homes, why can't the private do the same? Do you know HDB also engage private architects to design HDB flats? Lastly, a policy change will also encourage more architecture students to stay in the industry rather than living in drones, as stated in this CNA article. Don't get me wrong, I'm not here to complain. I'm giving constructive feedbacks so that we can all build a better built environment for all Singaporeans to live in. That's all. Hope you can also do your small part by sharing this video and clicking on the like button if you agree with me. See you soon.